Hey family, we are live, broadcasting live. This is the Conversation Room 101. Make sure it's only adults in the house. I need your mind to be open, prepared, and relaxed. Welcome to our home. Take your shoes off. We got some rules we need to go over. Be kind. No cursing in the chat. If you want to curse, call in. And no shouting out other channels. That's a no-no. We got one other rule. There is no judging our guests. It will not be permitted. Zero tolerance. And if so, you want to do that, guess what? We got security. And we will escort you out. Because over here, hashtag we don't care. We're going to be one big family. We're going to laugh together sometimes. We're going to cry. But we definitely going to pray. I thank the Lord above for everything. I lift him up and give him the glory. But you guys, right now, we're going to get our popcorn. And then we're going to see what's going on. And let me just park my car. And I'll be in there in a minute. I'll see you real soon.
The Copyright Disclaimer Act. The Copyright Disclaimer Act under Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976, allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comments, news, reporting, teaching, scholarships, and research. Fair use is used permitted by copyright statutes that might otherwise be infringing. Nonprofit, educational, or personal use tips the balance in favor of fair use.
Like, share, subscribe.
Do you want to know? Well, I've been thinking about you, and I think I have to listen, because the sun is up, it's a beautiful day.
We won't stop. We will not stop.
Sun. Come, won't you come along? And it feels so right. It's like luck is raining on me. Go and follow your heart. Doesn't matter how far. There is so much love to give. Something's telling me this time. Baby, baby, now
See this? How you cannot go
baby,
again?
baby, gotta go. There is so much love to give. Something's telling me it's right.
Neighbors and the
When you
community
came to me,
compelled to
who are
scour
you?
the area.
It's you, yeah, boy.
Where does the fault lie on you?
Hey family, how is everybody doing? Hey Amari, thank you for the 10 points. What's going on? Family, come on in. We're going to talk a little bit. We're going to keep on the Shanquella Robinson case. If you don't know, we're talking about Shanquella Robinson. Once again, I'm running a little late, you guys, because Diesel had a doctor's appointment. I set it up this morning. They said, come on in. Because he's got to get his stemper, his rabies, and then we got him something. So if he's out in the woods and get a little parasite, he'll be taken care of. I got some good news about Diesel. I called the lady today also, and Friday will be, I think she said Friday will be my first day in class for the search and rescue, because you have to be taught also what your dog can do, what your dog can't do, what you need to get him to do. And so they will never give you a license to go out there and search and rescue until you also have to take classes. So I will start taking my first class this Friday, and Diesel will start taking his first class next Friday, you guys. So we're on our way. We're going to do what we're going to do. He weighs 63 pounds, you guys. He is 6 months old. And so we're going to have our search and rescue dog soon. I mean, it's a process. This is why people don't want to do it. It is a process. It ain't you just go get a dog and be like, oh, it's search and rescue. You gotta get the dog and then main the dog and change the dog and bathe the dog and walk the dog and talk to the dog and feed the dog and pick up the dog and clean after the dog and play with the dog. And but he is the lady that was at the one place that was doing the training to get his mannerism kind of a little bit under control, that we can handle him. Well, she's the one that she says, hey, she says she don't know, if he's going to be able to do this or do that, because she wasn't doing the training. She had her assistant, but she had already met me. She already knew which way we were going. And she's like, yeah, come out this Friday. And we'll see if this is something because it's a long process. It usually takes maybe a year. Some people did it less, like 4 or 5 months. But Diesel got some issues going on with paying attention. He likes people. He likes people. When people talk to him, he gets all discombobulated. And so we might have to take another class on obedience, because he loses his mind. He was in the doctor's office today and he lost his scruples. I mean, he was just, and she was like, whoa. She was like, he's a big boy. And so that's going to be a concern when people want to come up and he's wanting to jump and play with them, and they don't know that. So that's something we're going to have to continue to deal with. But I mean, other than that, that is the only thing. And they're saying that he's got what it takes, you guys. The doctor says he got what it takes. The trainer assistant that was helping training Diesel to get him to do little things, which we already had him doing those things, but it's never a problem to reinsert those qualities, because this is a thing that you got to do all the time, every day, no matter what. So I want to thank everybody coming on in. Make sure you hit the like button, share. We're going to open panel, you guys. We're going to talk about Shanquella. And I know that we're going to go to different topics, but I mean, this girl, Shanquella, she was 25 years of age. She's got a birthday coming up. Her father and her whole family, her mom, her sister, they're missing her right now because the holidays then came up. She went to Mexico. If you don't know the story, she went to Mexico with a group of friends. It was about 5 of them was on there. 1 was coming in late, so it would have made 6. But anyway, she didn't return. And what happened was her friends went over there with her. I don't know if they was her friends or they were her friends' friends. You know how that is. They're not really. So people keep saying they were her friends. They were her. She knew them. They were acquaintance, But as far as her friends, I don't know that yet. I would like to know. I would like to ask the father that. And, when I do speak to him, I will ask him, was they her friends or was they her friend? Because there's a difference. It's kind of like, when you were in school, you had a friend, but she's friends with somebody else, but they're not really friends with you. But some people is like, no, because they went to the same school. Still doesn't make them friends. So this is why some people are upset saying, hey, they should have helped. Well, they wasn't really like her friends. You know what I'm saying? She knew them. She probably dealt with them. But her friend was the one that was like saying, hey, Shanquella, do something. You gonna fight back? And Shanquella said, no. And they watched and video recorded this girl get beat, not only but literally, but to death, to her demise, you guys. Yes, that's what happened. So they video recorded it. Everybody done seen it. If you ain't seen it, check it out. It's all over. It's nationwide, national, international. You got it. And so they called the mom up and say, hey, Shanquella then got sick over some alcohol poisoning. And her mom was like, alcohol poison? It was like, yeah. And the mom said, send her to the doctor, the hospital, because she got insurance. I don't know if it was insurance through the package of her. Some people was like, yeah, it was. But you know what? Nobody really confirmed that was the insurance. Was it the mother insurance, the father insurance, or was it traveling insurance? If it was traveling insurance, she could have survived this. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Get her to the hospital. But to be honest with you, I don't care what nobody say right now, and I'm sorry to say that. If the autopsy report says that after those blows, she was 15 minutes gone, you could have called Timbuktu. You could have took her to Timbuktu. That doesn't mean it would have done anything. She was already gone. You know what I'm saying? So sometimes people's like, well, Winter, I was thinking about Winter in a good way at one time. But then when we figured out that, and I'm just being honest, that, maybe Winter was just trying to do the right thing, because Winter knew that, she's going to have to answer to this. Winter was not a good person. Not because she watched the fight, because like I said, you guys, everybody got a different of opinion. If you want to come up, I'm going to go ahead and put the invite up here. I'm not going to talk to you guys long. Like I said, I know you guys got things to do. I know you do. You got things to do, and you may got something to say. I don't care what it is, say it. I am not going to say nothing. If you want to say, there was a person in the corner, you know what? I'm not going to say nothing, because you guys go all over the place. I don't go all over the place, but there's certain channels that I watch and I see, but I heard something the other day. And so I want to find out if it's true. But Winter's brother has spoke to social media and said some stuff. And I can't even remember what it is for right now. I just can't, said some stuff. And oh Lord, hold on. Because I'm trying to pin this message. Okay, we got Freddie in the building. Okay, family, come on.
Hey, everybody. Hey, SC, thanks for inviting me.
Hey, what you think about what's going on here?
What I want to ask is this person right here. Can't they all get into trouble if they moved her body or tried to do anything while she was dead already? Could they get in trouble for that?
Yep, they sure can. Because remember, we covered a case on the Malia Davis case, and they didn't charge that boy with the death of Malia. They charged him with doing something to the corpse. Did you know that?
Okay. No, I didn't know he got charged for that. I just know they arrested him and he went to court and he got locked up.
Yeah, he got locked up, but he didn't get locked up for the death of Malia. He got locked up for doing something with the corpse, moving the corpse, hiding the corpse, lying about the corpse. Knew. Now we still don't know how she passed away, but that's what they charged him with.
Okay, what about Naser when he spoke on, I did this and I talked to him. What about him? Did he speak on himself by telling what he did with her body when she supposedly been dead?
What do you mean?
Okay, when he was talking on his video, he was talking about how, he laid there with her, he talked to her and all this. What she did when he was speaking on all of this.
Oh, Nazir.
Yeah, that's his name.
Yeah. She. You know what? With all the information that has came out, this girl was already gone.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was already gone.
So he already put himself in jail in a sense, if they
Well,
look at all that.
only way that he could be telling the truth is if he was there earlier than what he say he was, because she was already gone. When that maid, because remember the maid comes around about 11 and 12 o'clock to clean
Yeah.
the rooms. They found that girl at 12 o'clock. That's what the last information we got. She found her about 12. She went looking for the friends, found the friends, and said, "Hey, your friend is over here she's really sick. I mean, she's cold." Or no, she said she's hard. That's what she said. She said she was hard.
She had been deceased a while. My God.
And
Lord.
if she was hard, she said she was hard. If she was hard, she was already gone. Everybody after that fact did some covering up, some lying, and the right thing to do is everybody get it some time. Everybody, because everybody tampered with her, dressing her, moving her out the bathroom into the guest room, into the living room, into whatever, putting clothes on her, taking clothes off or whatever, putting pink leggings on. I done heard it all. And it makes me sick. It makes me sick. And I mean, I just, I just try not to even think about it, to be honest with you. I'm just telling the truth. I try not to think about it because, I just found out because I asked a question. Like, okay, so the mother got phone calls from down there saying, "Hey, they fighting the girl," and then they made it into town. Once they made it into town, I guess 3 people made it into town, and I wanted to know who those 3 people. I wanted to be verified. Who was those 3 people? And I got verification who those 3 people was. Do you know all 3? Which 3 do you think it was?
Oh my God. It was the one that beat her up and the one who taped it and Winter or whoever it was. I believe Winter was one of them.
Okay. You believe it was Winter?
One of them, yes, I do.
And then the one that beat her up, Dejanay?
Yeah, I got 2 up out of there. Yeah.
Okay.
And a guy.
Yeah.
And one was a guy. Yeah,
so
I believe so.
It was because you got Khalil, Malik, and then you got Nazir.
Okay. Nazir. I don't know why his name came up.
You know what? I thought it was Nazir too. I thought it was Nazir that showed up at the mama's house and everything. But it was told to me, and I want to confirm it so bad. I do. I want to confirm it because, stuff start making sense when you know facts and details of little stuff like that. It's stupid, but I heard it was Khalil.
Nah.
Yeah, Khalil, the one that I heard it was Khalil, Dejanay, and Winter.
Okay, 2 out of 3.
2 out of 3. And you know what? I wouldn't have thought it was Dejanay. So when people were saying she got arrested over there, how could she get arrested over there when she's back in the United States? And she was one of them that visit the mother's house. How dirty could you be to sit there in front of this woman after killing her child?
I know. That lets you know. No conscience, don't care, no remorse. What the other thing that they put you on capital murder when they said no regard for human life? I'm talking about how could you do that?
And yeah, and the mom was like, he was sweating. She asked him a question. He get to sweating and getting all hot and everything. I could just see him. Oh, it's hot.
Yeah.
Like he was getting sick because he felt so bad because his bestie friend was gone and all that. He was getting sick because he didn't want to answer them questions. He didn't have nothing that he wanted to say. Well, yes, Natasha said with a straight face, he was wrong.
I don't see how, Lord Jesus.
But you know what? What bothers me the most, I mean, somebody got to have some kind of dignity. Somebody have some kind of dignity and just do the right thing.
Were they afraid of Dejanay? The reason everybody's like, don't want to talk or something, what she gonna beat them down to?
Well,
if they
you know
tell.
what? Okay, I'm gonna tell you something. Me and you go somewhere and you go fighting somebody or such and such, and you hurt them really bad, and the police come and want to, and I may lose my kids, I may lose my license, my house. I mean, think about it, because it rolls downhill when you start losing stuff. You don't just lose little stuff. Your mama may lose her out, then people get sick, going to the hospital, dying and stuff. And then this is why I tell you, sometimes when people die, there's a part of a justice there. You know what I'm saying? Like, people be like, oh, well, it could even happen before. Like Winters, was it not Winters, but Khalil, not Khalil, but Alicia, the girl, her sister died the day before, that same day when they left, her sister died. See,
Yeah.
we never know. The wind blows wherever the Lord tells it to blow. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
But if you think about stuff and people be like, oh, I feel so sorry for these people, you don't know,
Right.
Exactly.
Miss D, what's going on?
Yeah. Hey, I was just chiming in. I think it was said that Malik and Dejanay are really tight. And if you go back to the beginning, his last post before he deleted his social media was like, best friend, I got you, and I got you for life, or something of that nature. So I think Khalil, and it was said that Khalil and Shanquella were real tight, but Shanquella wasn't really cool with those other folks on the trip. They said they had to convince her to go. Khalil was the connection between them and her. So if you notice in the videos, they were side-eyeing her the whole time. The vibe was just off, was just really off with all of them. So I think they all it's like all of them are going to stick together and ride it out until they can't ride the wheels no more, because they didn't really like Shanquella, it was said.
Wow.
It was said that Khalil, Malik, and Dejanay grew up together. They're like in early 20s, but their parents are really tight, and they have a Jamaican background, or the family's Jamaican or something. Like, that's the connection there. Mm-hmm. And then Winter, she's like the baby of the group, but she was also like really cool with Dejanay and some other girls. They went to Mexico like 50 weeks ago, a year ago, or something like that. Mm-hmm. And if you look at the vibe on that trip and you look at the vibe with this trip, totally different. You can tell it was just off. And you know how I think Shanquella was probably, if you look at some of her somber Twitter posts in the last year or two, you can tell, like, how younger folks can't tell when they're outgrowing folks. You know what I mean? Like, she probably didn't want to seem like, well, I'm too good to go. But at the same time, she knew those friends wasn't of her caliber anymore, because she had grown into success with her businesses, and it was said that these girls were working like we know Elise works at a medical office that her mom works at, and then the girl Dejanay was working for like Blue Rhino. And I say that to say, like, Shanquella seems to have surpassed them in terms of the direction that she was headed in with her life. And you know how that with younger people, it's all competition. Everything on social media, competition. And I think Khalil, as a guy, even if you have other female friends, you know they didn't like that girl, or you knew that girl wouldn't have been on the same wavelength with them. But I guess Shanquella, as they say, oh, she had a great heart, and she just wanted to be cool with everybody. I think she was just young and naive. As you get older, you begin to pick up that discernment that, hey, maybe I'm doing things differently, and it's okay to not blend. But for her to be that convinced, that means she really trusted Khalil to a certain extent, because who goes that far away from home with people you're not that tight with back at home, and you're really out there on a whim with one person that
Right.
they said you were really cool with back home.
Right. Wow. Do you think, okay, I got two questions to ask you because you said some things and I want to know, I mean, has it been confirmed that Elisa is working at her mother's?
Well, the mom from they said they found a church that she's a pastor at, but
Right.
in terms of the medical connection, they said that this office that Elise works for, stepdad and mom have an IT background working for this medical or whatever company they work for. It has a heavy connection with the office that she works at. That's what it was alleged. Now I don't know if it's been confirmed, but we do know she's a pastor. That's according to her Facebook. But I guess
Yeah,
maybe
she
that's
is.
her 9 to 5 or whatever, her normal job. But it's something in IT with medical, and that's the connection with Elise and this doctor's office or this nursing, whatever she's a CNA at the medical facility.
Right. But she's driving a Mercedes. And on top of that, a newer Mercedes.
A new Mercedes. Yeah, and I
it's not an old Mercedes because I checked
she's
it
the
out.
daughter of a pastor. So that's not unusual. That's not unusual.
Well, she's a pastor, but she's not a pastor of that church. I mean, you know what I'm saying? She's not the top pastor. She's not the number
Right. Maybe she lives at home. It's never said if they live on their own or not. If you're working a full-time job and you're not really paying mortgage or rent, you can afford to pay a $400, $500 car note. I just say give or take if she works full-time. She works full-time with no other ridiculous debt living at home. It wouldn't be unreasonable to be in a Mercedes for a younger person.
Unless it was leased or something.
Or lease, yeah.
Least you can afford it, but I mean, you can in a newer
Mercedes.
Yeah.
Yes, definitely. I see what you're saying.
So what do you think? Do you think they planned this, or was this it's definitely not an accident? Not the whole goal. I said at the beginning, they must have thought they're gonna hurt her or whatever. What do you think? What do you think happened?
I think it was all planned. And the reason why I say is because unless they have a heavy connection, it takes money to go to Mexico to an extent, And again, they're younger folks. They're not working, or at least it didn't sound like they had like a really heavy work history. So when you think of the financials, they said, it was said, I don't know, all alleged that Quilla put up most of the money for the trip. So the part that confused me was,
why would she put up most of the money? These people she don't even know.
That's the part that I was gonna say is confusing, because even if your best friend approached you with that, you're not cool, or it was said that you weren't cool with these folks back home. So that part has never been clear or confirmed. But I do think that there was maybe jealousy or ongoing beef. You know how you're back home, everybody knows everybody. So I think if she wasn't directly connected with them, either Khalil fed them enough about her, or with them being in college within the same vicinity, I think there was probably always an ongoing beef. They may not have planned to kill her, but they may have planned to do something to her, considering they said jealousy, they were so jealous, and they just had all this envy towards her. But killing her, maybe it just got out of hand because nobody stopped it. Nobody stopped it. Or at least that's what was said. It's just mind-boggling.
I'm gonna ask you a question.
Uh-huh.
Do you think Khalil paid them to beat her up?
I maybe not paid them directly, but I think probably in on it, just knowing like, okay, well, she's here with 17K. I think they said, I don't know. They said she took a nice little chunk of change there. I think he may have sparked a deal with them, or we'll split it this way or split it that way. But I don't think that he paid them to take her over there. But you never know, because she seemed like all happy and, oh, I got to put him on my payroll and I got to do this and got to do that in her stories prior to them going on the trip. So unless there was a ongoing beef that hasn't been like brought up, then maybe not. But I think he could have set her up to be robbed, just knowing that, Quilla had, they said she had, a pretty good success with her finances and things. It could have been a setup very well. Because Khalil's the best friend of, if you think about it, Khalil and Shanquella were best friends, and Dejanay and Malik are best friends. So it was best friend against best friend. Two best friends were going at it.
Yeah. Right.
And then she seemed like the odd number, because I think they said it was a total of 7, I guess, after the other guy got there. And he just, with him, he kind of throws it off a bit. I guess I can't tell like where he stands, because he plays the I'm Team Quilla, but then evidence says other things. So
well, I don't know where he comes in at it, because a lot of what he said, we now know that there was a doctor. He was like, nobody never say anything about the doctor. I mean, the nurse came. He called the nurse, but doctor.
Right.
Then he says, we gave CPR. And then people was like, no, it was Gerard said, no, it was one of the EMS.
Right.
But then it turns out the news is reporting that it was one of the friends that helped with CPR, like he said. I don't know. She got disconnected. It says device not connected. I don't know what happened to her. SP, the only person that could get her to do anything would be the person I trust. Exactly.
Wow.
It's getting crazy. What do you think, Freddie?
I think they all lost their mind when they found out that she wasn't breathing anymore. All of the people in the room, they didn't know what to do. They started setting up plots on, we're going to say this, y'all. We're going to do that. Come on, somebody say something. Because to me, if I was in the room and somebody came up deceased and from, fighting and everything, I'm talking about, I'd be speechless. I would be speechless. And another thing, when they coming up with all of this, don't you say this or you say that or whatever. Girl, I would have been the first one when I hit home. She did it. They dressed her, they did this and they did that. I would have been singing like a bird. And I would have been scared to touch her because I know you don't mess with a body, because that is really a murder scene. That's what that is.
Yeah, it was.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Wow.
well, Miss D's back. I'm gonna go back down because
I'm back. I'm sorry, I got disconnected.
That's okay. I'm leaving. Good evening,
All right.
everybody.
All right, thank you, Freddie. Okay, Miss D. So you okay, hold on, because somebody's coming in the panel here. Miss Betty, how you doing?
Good evening. How are you, SP? Hello, Miss D. How are you?
Hey, I'm fine.
So, Miss Betty, what do you think?
I believe, SP, that this young lady was just, it's words can't describe it. Miss D is on top of it. You know how you travel with people. This is a wake-up call for many people. young and old. Trust your instincts. Listen, I've done this. I've gone on a trip with maybe knowing one person that I was really, really cool with. But the rest of the people were very standoffish. I walk in the room, but I was in the States and I'm grown. This young lady trusted that young man with her life. I believe he had ill will towards her. He always did because she was successful. I think he made an advances at her and she kind of, nah, we friends, we good. You know how that go. And
Yeah, they
he
said
wanted,
that.
hmm,
That was said
yeah.
recently.
He wanted more from her that she didn't want. Not that, maybe she always, when you're in the friend zone, you're in the friend zone. That's how I see you. You
Right.
hang out with my family. You got some, come on, boy, don't act like you don't know what time it is. You got some tendencies. I want a man. But
Right.
here nor there, I'm like I forgot who just left off. I forgot her name, but you know who I'm talking about. Just got off.
Miss Freddie.
Miss Freddie.
Freddie.
I'm like
Okay.
Miss Freddie. I would probably have had a heart attack standing there. I can't even tell you that I would have let you go that far to see it. Once I saw that she wasn't moving, I would have took the next thing out the country. But you would have been locked up when you came home.
But
I
that
couldn't
was
hold
for.
that.
I think that was for Khalil to step in because that's your best friend.
Yeah,
You
I
know what I
couldn't
mean?
hold
Like
that.
even if it escalated, one of
Yeah.
them guys in that room, I don't care how strong they say this girl was, should have overpowered that girl and stopped it. And
I
if they
couldn't
wanted
hold
to
that.
leave Shanquella in Mexico,
Mm.
she had enough money to get back to North Carolina.
Yeah.
You know, I think.
I couldn't
Go
do
ahead.
that, Miss D. You're right. I couldn't. My heart. I'm serious. I'm being, when I
Exactly.
think about it, I probably would have had a heart attack or something. Mentally, I wouldn't have been able to handle you
Right.
seeing that girl go out like that.
Right.
I
Right.
would have probably. I know. I mean, at first, I probably would have said, "Oh, she gonna stop." But once she hit that floor and didn't move, I would have probably, girlie, you done lost your. I know I would have snapped, and it would have probably been bigger. But my point is that boy stood there and said, Shanquella, you not gonna fight back? At least fight back.
Right.
You my
Right.
friend.
Yeah, exactly. And that's why I said it was at least, we know for a fact there was at least two guys in the room. You're not going to tell me that them two guys couldn't get that girl. She may have been thicker than Shanquella, but she wasn't thicker than Khalil. And she
Exactly.
wouldn't have, they would have been able to stop her. It's no way you're gonna tell me them two guys wouldn't have been able to get that girl above her. No matter if the other girl wins her, whoever jumped in. The strength of a man versus that girl. That girl
Yeah.
is thick, but she's not that, like
Right.
it's no way. It's
And
no
not
way. If
only
they wanted to stop it, they could have stopped it.
and not
He didn't
only
want to
that,
do anything.
y'all
Even if it
covered
meant
it up.
him putting himself in harm's way. No, I'm not saying you hit a woman, but you
Right.
have enough strength to overpower that woman to get her off of somebody that she's beating to death.
Exactly. Then you don't have then you all, this is the heartless part of it. Y'all
Right.
all packed up your stuff and went somewhere else and left her like she was nothing. You threw her away like she was trash.
Yep.
I'm sorry.
I think they. You are you talking about in the morning? I mean, that morning right after they did it.
Yes. Oh my God. You come to my house and you couldn't
They knew that's why I think they knew she was gone.
Exactly.
I think they couldn't even stay in the room. They was like, oh, I mean, just think about it. If you in the room and somebody just did something, took somebody out, and you now is a part of it, a witness or engaged into it some kind of way, they leave in the room, everybody trying to stay with each other so they won't go tell this, see this, and do that. And they're trying to get it together. Exactly. I know other people was like, oh no, they went partying. And I was like, no, y'all. They went to try to talk to get it together. Like, this is what we're going to do. We got to go get our stuff. We can't even get back home. We got to go over there. And then as they approach coming up, The maid is like,
approached them. You right, SP.
yeah. Then the maid is like, hey, y'all friend is in the bathroom.
And now I ain't gonna say they ain't go drink something. They probably did because all
yeah,
of them
they
probably
probably
was
went
crazy.
to the bar and was tripping, and you
Yeah.
probably could even hear what they said at the bar.
Right.
Because they said they didn't have cameras in the villa, like in the rooms, but they got them, outside,
yeah.
and in the bar area, and the pool area, and wherever they parked in their cars and stuff. So some of that probably conversation was picked up.
You come back and you come to you could not, I'm sorry, I'm not gonna cuss. You could not have come on my property.
With my child's luggage.
You wouldn't have, don't come nowhere near me until I get some answers.
But that's why I said the mom had to hold it together. It's no way you would have brought my daughter's luggage with this story, and he breaking out. The moment he broke out of sweat, it would have been over with. Because mama's intuition just tells you something ain't right.
When you
they said that she said she got an anonymous phone call, and they said that they was over there fighting that girl. Now, if I know these are the folks that my baby left with, it's no way I'd have sat with them for 4 days. I could not. 4 days.
Miss D, I'm with you. They wouldn't have sat with me 1 minute.
Right.
It should have been over with.
When I found out, okay, you might have got away with it the first day because I didn't. Maybe. And wait a minute. I'm gonna stop that because I don't want to say that. Depending on when I got that call about them fighting her, if that call came in before you touched down and you came by my house, I'd have been pop. And y'all know what that means. Don't come nowhere near my door.
Yeah, because that's
right now, what I've been told and what you saying is not lining up. And I want to stay on this side of the Jordan, not on the other. I think y'all better leave.
Well, the call had to come in before they made it home because remember she said she was asking them questions, but Khalil, I guess he was sweating and everything when she asked him what was going on, some fighting. But when you got 3 people, you got Dejanay and you got Winter, and there's like, no, who said something like that? I wonder, I wish we knew what they were saying to the mom.
But SP, this is the thing though. The stepsister, whoever this girl is, coming out as a sister, follows Khalil on social media. So we know that Shanquella was posting in her stories the day before. They said that the alleged fight or the alleged altercation was popping up in the stories. Because it was said, if you listen to, and this is where it's conflicting again, because she said she got the anonymous call, but then her and the sister said that people were starting to send them the video.
Right. Exactly.
If you go back.
No, I know what you're saying.
Get what I'm saying?
Yes. We were talking about that earlier today.
You couldn't have, and I understand Southern hospitality. You couldn't, and I think I'm.
And they ate food and planned what they were going to wear to the funeral.
But they went to the right person because they couldn't have gone and sat in front of her father like that.
Well, right. And there are some people, I mean, majority of, especially African descent, they will lose it really quick. But there are some people that can hold their composure and they just don't,
True. That's true.
Okay.
I mean, I've seen it done. I've seen them hold it together.
Or they play devil's advocate.
Yeah, and be like, yeah.
I get it.
But I mean, it's very rare. It's very rare. And the mama do look like, I'm gonna tell you something though. I'm gonna say this, and I hope I don't offend nobody, but the apple don't fall far from the tree. Shanquella was a very nice person. Even when people probably was mean to her, she was always real nice to them. She liked the baby. She liked the kid. So she had to have that nice patience mentality.
Patience, yeah.
And it
Right.
probably came on her mother's side, which her father's side knows the world. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Right.
I'm just thinking, because there's no way in the world you could come and tell me you sat with these people for 4 days unless you got that kind of, like, they probably thought we can get over on her. Even when they called mama and said we need $5,000.
No, right.
See what
Yeah.
I'm saying? They
Yeah, I get it.
already got in their mind. She probably, I'm just saying, like maybe slow or
Or
just
yeah.
that
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
people, when you're nice to them, they think that you're stupid or dumb.
Right.
Say that
Right.
again. P. Say that again, because they do.
Right.
And
Right.
yeah.
And people come up to you and say, "Oh, SP, why you people gonna take advantage of you?" Not unless I want them to.
Amen.
Right.
I'm not as nice as people think I am. I'm just not. But I just let people think whatever. But there are some people that are nice, and that's what people already
Yeah.
have in their head, that's what they're gonna do.
Because they know who to try, you know.
Right. Right.
So why would they try to, even after killing taking this baby out? Why would they call the mama, knowing that she's gone, and then try to get money?
Right.
And didn't they say
Right.
the doctor or something? You know, was the doctor coming, or was the doctor already there?
The doctor was probably already there.
Yeah.
When they
And
were
then
Yeah.
EMS or what is it? What are those folks? The ones that were in the photos were there trying to resuscitate her and help the
Yeah.
doctor.
I just think that
Wasn't that EMS?
Was it EMS? No, the Red Cross or something like that. I want to say Red Cross. Some helpers.
I believe this, like SP, I believe they did it. They left the villa, tried to figure out. They knew they were going to fight. They knew the fight was going to happen, because when she walked in the room, she said, "I'm gonna be hot on it." I ain't never forgot that. I'll always remember that. I'm gonna stay hot on it. So they knew that Dejanay was going to go after her. I do believe that, unfortunately, what's her name? Shanquella's friend set it up for whatever reason. Maybe she hit, like I said, she kept denying his advances. She knew things about him, and his, he was go both ways. Maybe she had a interlude with Winter, and Dejanay had an issue with it. Whatever the case was, it built up and built up. But they used Dejanay, who they knew was the powerhouse in the house.
Right. And they had to get her away from North Carolina because
Right.
you got to think about it. All these young folks, they go live with everything.
Exactly.
There's no way they would have been able to record
Nope.
Anywhere within the vicinity of North Carolina, because A, the location would have been given, and then B, that father, you can tell,
yes,
got a
sir,
little skunk in him. You know what I mean? You can tell he probably was something else when he was younger. Whereas the mom
he'd have been on it.
Yes. That somebody would have been there, or either they wouldn't have been able to walk free, leaving wherever they were at, whatever they did to her. They had to lure her away and far away. It couldn't have been close enough to where somebody, because if you could get Nasir to hop a plane, and I don't know, they never said what his reason was for coming the day after. So just think about it. If you think about it, Miss Betty and SP, if you get a phone call, somebody's fighting my baby, I'm on the first plane in the next state, in my car, wherever I gotta get to my baby. So my thing is, it was never said what Nasir's purpose was, because if you know they were fighting her, you couldn't have thought, I'm gonna get on the plane and we going over here, we're gonna have a grand old time after they just killed this girl.
Exactly.
So what was said to get him over there?
He was already involved. I don't care what he says on his lives. Listen, you can talk to people you can even talk while you on the plane if you put your phone on airplane mode. Right. I'm sick of him. That young man, that one person gets on my nerves. Stop acting like you didn't know. You might not have been inside the villa, but for some reason, I believe you were on the premises. You intentionally went to the pool because you couldn't handle what you saw. All of y'all were there. For what? I don't know why her so-called friend, whoever, Khalil, I think was the actual friend. I don't know what would possess anybody to do such a gruesome thing to a person.
Yeah, that's what I said. And he traveled. If the mom,
oh my God,
he's traveled with their family. So you got to think Khalil knows about the family. He probably knows
everything.
Who's financially okay, who's not. You know, when you travel with family, you know of these people. You have a history. You know everything about these folks. So what was the direct beef between him and her to make him to get this so vile towards her? And this is and you know her family. That's the crazy part.
Well, think about it. If I'm not gonna say, I'm just saying, just use your mind for a minute. This is a woman that you've admired for as long as you can recall. And at one time, I'm just me. This is my opinion. Okay. I've not heard this or anything. And you just knew you were growing too, you were doing stuff, and she helped you out from time to time. But each time you went close to that line, she took her stand.
Right.
Nah, bro, we sisters.
Right.
Y'all, you know, you might have maybe a couple of times you really thought you was right there. I'm not trying to be explicit. I'm trying to
I get it.
And then the last time, you know, y'all might have been at a gala, because you know when you pop in your business, pop up stuff, and she took him as her, you know, come on, you be my escort, or you go with me. I'm trying to get this company launched, and can you help me? I see that in her personality through just looking. I see her being that she was a helpful person. She could be me. I help you. But if I don't want you, I don't want you. I don't care. We not crossing that line.
Right.
So,
rejection.
You know, when you come around my family, they making little sly remarks. Stop doing that. He's not my boyfriend. We friends. Don't do that, y'all.
Right.
We just good people. So he thinking if the family is saying it, just stay with me one more minute. He feeling that it's been, you done said something. No, I ain't said nothing. That's just my family, because they like you. You cool with me, but I don't see you like that. So when I finally say to you, listen, we're going to stop doing certain things because I tell you no and you don't get it. Well, we're going to go on this trip, girl. All right. Okay, cool. We just friends. But you angry because men don't let stuff go.
Yeah, and the rejection, they don't like to be rejected, and over again. And
some people done pulled up on them. Yeah, man, you stay up under her. You can't get that, but you know, antagonizing by other people.
Yeah.
So he knew several things. His pockets weren't that deep, but hers were. He knew that she wasn't going to trust none of them people on that trip but him.
Right. So, Miss D, I heard that Khalil's mother's house got shot up. Have you heard that?
I haven't seen that anywhere yet. I thought they said they fled. They're not there anymore, right?
Yeah, I heard Khalil's mother's house got shot up, so they moved out quickly.
I didn't know that. I never heard that.
Okay.
Wow. I think she just got mixed up with the wrong people, you know.
Yeah.
You can be friends in high school, you can be friends in college, really not even friends, more associates. But again, once the success starts taking off, the friendships don't always stay the same, you know, because they feel like, and they said she was what, 2 to 3 businesses in, and he had one that barely got off the ground, you know.
Yeah, could he been jealous of her business because she had a clothing line and she did children's hair,
right?
And he's got a clothing line. He's got a clothing line too.
Right.
I believe that's what it was, SP. A lot of it, we thinking it had a lot to do with Dejanay. Dejanay was the hitman. Excuse me for using that word, but you know, she was the one willing to step out there, and she knew she could do it. And I wouldn't be surprised if they didn't if they when
But
they do pull them in, scout out their phones to see, they research certain things. Where can we go and do this? And it's going to be a long process because
It's Mexico.
that one, and the United States has to say, okay, you have probable cause to take this one person. As much as we want all of them to go, I agree with you, SP. That may not happen, but the worst prison in the world that all of them are sustaining right now is in their mind. So if they never
But
go,
you know what? And you know what, Betty? They never gonna be able to walk free, even in America, because everybody knows who they are.
that's what I mean.
And you got to remember, if the United States or the people here, when I say United States, the citizens here or North Carolina, wherever they fraternize, if they feel like justice is not being served the way they want it served, you got to worry about street justice.
There you go.
Street justice ain't gonna wait for extradition and everything else. So realistically, they're going to always be walking with their in fear, because a lot of people got riled up over this case all over the world. Where are you going to work? Who's going to employ you?
I'm
but
not
they can only thing they have to do is just change their name and move to a different state.
Right.
Okay.
Change their identity and all of that.
True.
Just use a different name and just go to a different state. I wouldn't even, like, if it was me, I wouldn't come back to my state. I'd be like, okay, I'll just move to Boston.
Right.
And then you don't know me in Boston, so now I'm not going by Alicia. I'm going by Lisa.
Right.
And people don't put two together and go,
yeah,
oh, girl, that, yeah. You know what I'm saying? Because we know their first name, but do we know their last names?
Right.
You're right, SP.
They can
especially for the females. Mary all drop that name.
We know Winter Donovan and Khalil Cook,
Elise Hyatt Jackson.
Who? Yeah.
Elise Hyatt.
Yep. What's Malik?
Dyer.
And Nazir.
Wiggins.
Okay. Names can be changed.
Yeah.
But you know, what I mean by that, their prison will come. It's no way you could have seen that horrific fight and not see it every day in your mind. It's no way. And then to have to go back in that room and obtain your things and not see that body. It's
hers. Yeah.
After a while, police officers will tell you, especially homicide police officers, they have to find something else to do because it messes with their psyche.
Right.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I'm just saying. I can't wrap. I'm serious. I don't wrap my mind around this situation. It is so heartbreaking to me that a young lady will go away on a trip and not come back.
Right.
And then these other young people have come back and proceeded on with their life like it's everyday living.
Right.
You know, the mom said that she was having fun there. And the mom said that she even said something too about the energy was off, like something was wrong, like something was off. But one thing I can't get in my mind, because a lot of people saying this, it has been premeditated. I think the fight was premeditated, but the outcome was not what they was expecting.
Right.
Do you guys think that they
right? I agree.
I agree
with that.
I agree that they planned to fight. I think he paid them to fight. I think that boy paid that girl to fight her. I do.
I think he did.
But I don't think
because he couldn't fight her because he's a boy.
Right. I don't think he expected. I don't think something snapped in that girl. And I don't know if it was because of something Dejanay did with Winter or whatever it was, but something snapped in that thing. Oh gosh.
Because Betty, before they fought, did you hear she said, I'm tired of this, or I'm sick of this. I don't know enough of this. It was, listen to the video.
And then for her,
Who said that?
Janae, before she approached it, she said, "I'm tired of this. Like, I'm sick of this," or something like that. Go back to, if you can, listen in the beginning before she really starts putting her hands on her. She just snaps. She says, "I'm sick of this," or something like that. "I'm tired of this." You can hear it. So it makes you wonder, what was she tired of? And it could have, and like Betty said, it could have stemmed from, it had to stem from Khalil, but you never know. Khalil could have also been playing both sides of the fence.
He was.
He probably knew those two
He
girls
was.
didn't care for each other. But hey, that's my best friend, and him and Malik are really tight, and that's Malik's best friend. So, he could have been the enticer that, they're going to fight. He couldn't fight her, like you said, because he's a guy, but knowing whatever beef was riled up amongst the two girls, maybe it just hit the fan.
This is a very open community. I'm trying to be very, SP, help me out here. So figure this. Dejanay, out of all of them, don't misunderstand me, all of the women are attractive, but Dejanay, like you said, they thought she was a man. I didn't say it, they did. Okay. So out of them, Dejanay was very fond and close to Winter, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
Okay. Correct me when I'm wrong. So what if Khalil, which is Dejanay's friend, I'm sorry, Shaquilla's friend, whoever was her friend, told Dejanay that Shanquella was making passes or made comments about Winter?
That is very, very possible. I do believe so, because on one video, Dejanay was rubbing all over Winter's butt and and all of
and
that.
did you see that?
Huh?
Did you see the video? Those two were in Mexico together over a year ago, and they were very tight, up under each other. So
and
you're
the way
you're on with that.
Rubbing her butt, it wasn't like we're making a video or we're just trying to get guys excited. It was more like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm loving this. Yeah. So that's why I always thought Dejanay and Winter had a thing going.
And when Shaquilla, probably the night before when they were talking and playing the game or whatever, she might have said, "Oh yeah, I would do," she might have said something small. "I'll take her, do whatever. I'm just my opinion."
Girl, you ain't got no money. How you gonna keep something like that? You know what I'm saying?
Okay, you going with me. And so you, out of everybody there, it's already speculated that you don't roll, you all right, but you ain't tight like everybody else. Like,
right.
Yeah, girl, I got your PPP loan, but you only got 5 racks. Girl, I'll make that in a week.
Right.
Girl, you can't even take care of. Let me go ahead and take care of her. And then she done went to sleep, and Winter done creeped over there, and she was like, shoot, I'll buy her whatever she wants.
Exactly.
Right. Yeah.
And then guess what? Who instigates? Khalil.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, girl, I walked in the room. Guess was in the room with so and so? Man, don't say nothing. It ain't all that. I'm just saying, she. Yeah. But I don't care if you are her, whatever. There was no reason for you to kill this girl.
Right.
When you slung her the first time and she didn't move, you should have left her alone.
It shouldn't even escalated to that, Betty. You got two guys in the room.
Listen, but let me tell you something. Look, you keep calling they physically look like men. Let's stop being funny. Okay. They just as much as me and you are. And I'm
right.
Okay. So stop giving them credit for they when they in that mindset that, oh, you think you all that, blah, 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 blah. They want you to prove otherwise.
Right.
And I think it's horrible that we are now talking about a 25-year-old prospering professional young woman who lost her life over jealousy.
Right.
That demon is wrong.
But Nazir said, think about it. Nazir said, it's much more than what you guys think it is.
That's true.
And I
He
believe it.
says that. And I'm like, if you didn't know nothing about it, how could you even make that comment and say it's much deeper than what you guys and he looked like, yeah, it's much deeper than what you guys y'all tripping.
So was you calling the shots from the airport, from the plane, from the other airport until you got there?
Well, that goes back to what I'm saying, guys. Like, what was his reason for not? Well, I guess it's been conflicting with that as well, because if you go do a little digging, go back to the plane ticket, you can call American Airlines yourself, but another blogger has done the due diligence, and it seems like if we're looking at what he posted or what the mom posted, he was there. If you do the timing with what he gave us, it was not Saturday that he arrived. He was actually there at the villa on that Friday. So he may not have arrived he did not go on the same flight, but if you look at the ticket, you go to DFW, which is, the Dallas Fort Worth airport. Look at that. You can call them yourself. You can still call on a past flight. They will tell you that flight landed on Friday, not Saturday. And that's what he was getting called out on. Excuse me. That's what Nazir was getting called out on, and that's when the mama kind of jumped in. And then he started going with the notion that I wasn't there until Saturday, so I don't know whose plane ticket or what ticket he came up with after he was called out. But that original ticket indicated that he was in Cabo, Mexico on that Friday.
He had to be. I mean, because he knew so much of what happened when he was telling the story. I'm like, okay, the nurse is coming. What do you mean the nurse is coming? That means you had to be there before 2.
Right. The plane landed sometime Mexico's time. I want to say they said it was 11 or noon. But then if that's the case, that will further prove that when he got there, she was already deceased, because the attack looked like it took place in the morning.
Right.
So he may not have been there during the fight, so to speak, or what. I don't know. You really don't know.
He had to be there. He had to be there.
But he had to be there.
But did he? Okay, let me ask you a question. I know we're over a little bit, you guys, but let me ask you this question. Is there any information? Did he take any videos by the pool and all of that?
I'm going to jump down, okay?
All right.
All right.
I don't remember seeing anything or any lives coming from him by the pool, other than the videos in the bathroom. And then if you peep the bathroom, go back to his live, there's another guy behind him.
Right.
But they never said who that person, is. And I don't think that's medical staff, but who knows? If you look at the guest list as well, the top line is blank. So I wonder if there was another person expected or coming, or another person that was already there, maybe just not on that sign-in sheet. That opens up a lot more questions, that there may have been other people there than just what we know with the 6, because it just doesn't make sense. The timelines, the stories, it just doesn't.
Right. I think that they're going to get some answers. I really do.
I think so too. But
it's not going to be what everybody think, because it's really huge, but it's not. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They're going to get some answers, because I do believe that they are, the United States is going to, help out and
right.
And then they're going to get some answers.
Yeah. I think so too. I just think, because with anything with law enforcement cases, the thing that I think people don't understand is when the FBI comes for you, they have it all together. They got the phone records, they got the timeline. It's all pieced together.
Right.
Given it happened outside of USA soil, I think that's may be part of the reason why it's not moving as fast as we want it to. But I do believe that they are working on it, and I do believe that she's going to get justice. It's no way. I just the country is not going to rest with this video floating around of this girl being violently beaten the way that she is, faces included, or at least we know for a fact who the aggressor was, and no, no type of repercussion.
Right. Yeah, you're right. Because let me tell you, if they let that go, they're gonna have many more. People gonna be like, "Oh, let's get this person out the country, do something, go back and just."
Yeah, like nothing. So
It
they're
will be
going to
all
in
copycat.
Mexico right now. It was said just as early as this morning, and I know I've seen it about a week ago, 2 weeks ago. They're not even renting out Villa 32, which rightfully they shouldn't. But look at the money they're going to lose if everybody starts canceling Mexico to travel. Look at the money they're going to lose
Yeah.
behind this case.
Right.
So I do believe they're going to do something. It's just not, I guess, moving as fast as everyone wants it to.
Right. Right.
I don't believe she'll die in vain. And I believe that father is going to fight for her. I really believe that. I don't think he's going to rest until he gets justice for Shanquella,
Right. Right.
you
He's not.
know.
He's not. He's not. He's not.
And if it's not Khalil, I'd bet my life on it. Nazir's behind it. Nazir has a little past, they say, some things with a female, and I don't know how true or not true. We don't know him personally, but I'd go 100 with Khalil, but I wouldn't be surprised. Malik, if you ask me, he just seems a little sugary, more like, hey, girls trip. But but the
Right.
muscle I think was Khalil. I
Okay.
think Khalil for sure.
Okay. You got anything you want to share with us before we get off of here?
No, not really. I just wanted to chime in and get my thoughts. That's all.
Okay, I think there's going to be more information come out, and we're just going to try to stay on, as much as we know, because talking about it just opens up more understanding, and you talk to your kids, talk to your friends, talk to yourself, because I'm not going nowhere with people that I don't really know.
But you know
You know,
what? Young people, everything has to be on front and center. Social media influences that a lot.
mhm,
And I think they lose or they're not in touch with discernment. When something feels off, something's not right, don't go. That girl had a feeling. They said they had to convince her to go because she didn't feel comfortable going. I
right,
wouldn't have went. I'd have let Khalil go. You go hang with your friends and we'll catch another trip another time.
right,
But she and especially with successful, she probably didn't want to see Snooty. I don't want to go. Y'all not my people. They probably wasn't her cup of tea back home, to be
right,
honest, you know. And she's probably looking at them as, hey, I'm just going. These are his friends. We just gonna have a good time. But when she get there and Shanquella buying the bar and we got a private chef and they can't do the same things, with that envy and that jealousy and that hatred towards her, just probably overload on top of whatever Khalil was already feeling or whatever ill will he had against her.
yeah,
But we just have to keep educating our children and just, keep talking to our younger folks because a lot of them are so gullible and, or they're lonely. If you think about Shanquilla's post back in early 2000, family's not family. Oh, my family acts like enemies and things like that. So it makes you wonder, was she was successful, but was she the black sheep? Was she coming from a lonely place?
yeah,
What was her circle like back at home? Was she
yeah,
fraternizing with people who were seemingly successful like her? Or was she always the person in the room, with all the money, basically?
right,
It just makes you wonder. But I just pray that we get justice for her and her family. But I think if the people say keep her name alive and we keep talking about it and keep fighting for her, they're gonna do something. You
right,
know, I just can't see it. We can't let this case rest because if not, a few months, weeks from now, there's another Robinson case.
yeah,
We don't
yeah,
like this girl. Let's take her to Mexico. Mexico ain't doing that. You know what I mean? So
yeah,
I don't think they want to give off that vibe. I don't. It's just she was just a sweet girl, and she unfortunately took this Khalil guy was too trusted and he
right,
had other plans for her. And even if he was a family friend, you know, some people, even family, you got to keep at a distance, you know, because you never know what they're real, you know,
Right.
especially if she picked up on a bad vibe or she just seemingly saw herself going in a different direction. And I just think she was gullible in that
Right.
area. You
Yeah.
know, she was real young and gullible. And
Yeah.
because you wouldn't have done that to someone maybe with a little more experience or a little older because they wouldn't have. Nope, I'm not going with your friends. And then they said, "Oh, these were the broke friends." Why would she? You know, she probably wouldn't have. But she
Right.
trusting Khalil. Oh no, they okay, and you know, he set her up. He set her.
Hmm.
Yeah, just
Well,
makes you wonder.
yeah. Well, I appreciate you coming on and talking with us.
You're welcome. Anytime.
All righty.
All right. Take care, guys. Good night.
Good night.
All right.
Oh, you guys, that was a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful conversation. It was just, I love talking to people and they make my mind think. I think there's going to be some more information being dropped. Gerard said that he's dropping some more information. When he dropped those pictures, everybody got all excited and they was like, "Oh, we got some." It's keeping the case alive. It's keeping the conversation. It keeping just trust me. You know, they gave the mom the phone back and her clothes and stuff. I guarantee you, there's going to be more information. So, okay, you guys, I'm going to get off of here. Thank you guys for showing up. We'll come on Friday. And thank everyone that came up on the panel. Y'all get prepared because, see, what y'all don't know, what you don't know, be prepared, you guys. There's some information that's going to be dropped. So just get ready for it. All right. Be good. Keep everybody in your prayers. Please keep Soldier Girl and her family in your prayers for her mother. This is the second anniversary of her passing away. And you guys, I will see you guys at 3 p.m. Central Time, same place. All right, Friday.